There are two extremely consistent events in Rise of Kingdoms that give you, ironically, the most possible commander sculptures in the game. These are the Mightiest Governor and the Wheel of Fortune, and today, as I'm sure you saw in the title and the thumbnail, I will be focusing in on the Wheel of Fortune. I will discuss the basics behind the wheel, how all the cycles work, which commanders come when, all of that, but then I will get into a bunch of math behind the best number of spins to stop at for a free-to-play player. If you're interested in the amount of spins you should be doing as a free-to-play or a low spender to get the most value per gem, you definitely want to check out the rest of the video. So I'm going to begin with the basics, and if you already know them, feel free to skip ahead. There are timestamps in the video that you can skip to at any moment. Now we're going to begin with the basics, and the first thing is, how does the wheel work? Well, each day while the Wheel of Fortune is active, you get 60 chances to spin the Wheel of Fortune. There are 3 different spin prices. You get 1 free spin every day at 00 UTC. You get a half off spin once a day at 00 UTC. Then you have to pay 800 gems per single spin or 3,600 gems for 5 spins, which is 10% off the price it would cost if you just kept doing the spin once button. So those are the different price points, and most players will either spin their free and half price spin, and then they will just spin the 5 times. There is almost no reason to spin the spin once, since you are paying more gems and getting pretty much the same stuff. So for most situations, you wouldn't push the spin once. You'd only ever do your half off and your free spin, and then you do your 5 spins for 3,600 gems if you wanted. After a specific number of spins, and here are the numbers, 10 spins, 25, 45, 70, and 100 spins, you will get an incremental reward. This is a guaranteed reward that's going to at least give you some value for your gems. First of all, after 10 spins, you get 5 legendary commander sculptures for a commander of your choice. After 25 spins, you get some resources and 5 generic legendary commander sculptures that can be used on any commander. After 45 spins, you get 10 sculptures for a commander of your choice. After 70 spins, you get 10 generic sculptures which can be used on any commander. And after 100 spins, you get 15 commander sculptures which can be used on a commander of your choice. And after you reach 100, there is pretty much no point in spinning because you won't get any more guaranteed chests. It is just the extra spins which you will do. Also, keep in mind here that with the Wheel of Fortune, after it resets, so will the chest. So if you get to 45 and then the wheel resets and the new one comes along, you will no longer be at 45, you'll be back at that beginning 10 spot. So do keep that in mind whenever you spin the wheel. Also, for the later game players, you can switch commanders. You see how I've got Hao Bing here? I've actually spun the wheel for Hao Bing 3 times. If I were to get to the 10 spot and I want to get the chest for Sargon instead of Hao Bing, and I switch to Sargon, you can see it changes the sculptures. So you do not need to spin for one commander and only get that commander. You can switch the commanders midway. For example, I could spin to 100 on Sargon, and then I could switch to Hao Bing and claim some chests on Hao Bing. Let's say I claim like level 10 and level 45 on Hao Bing, and then I could switch to Harold if I wanted, and I could claim the level 100 chest, and I'd get Harold sculptures instead of getting Hao Bing or Sargon sculptures, so do keep that in mind. Now, the way this wheel works and when it comes around, on the second day of the Mightiest Governor in every single season of Conquest Kingdom, the Wheel of Fortune will hit. So I think that is every single 2 weeks, exactly on the Tuesday, you will get the Wheel of Fortune. It will last for 3 days, and it will come around every week. Each week, it will have a different troop type, so it will begin with the cavalry cycle. That is where most players say it begins, and then you'll get infantry, and then 2 weeks later, you'll get archers, and then 2 weeks later, you'll get the leadership commanders. For all you players in the really early game, your Wheel of Fortune will be a little bit different. The way it will work for you is you will get the same commander for, I think, 2 or 3 wheel cycles, and then it will switch to new commanders. Or maybe it's only 1 wheel cycle nowadays, I don't remember exactly, but let's say you'll get Alexander the Great, and then 2 weeks later, you'll get access to, I think it's like the Mehmed wheel, and all the Gold Key Commander wheels, and then 2 weeks after that, you'll get like Edward or Tamiris. So keep that in mind, that's how it works in the early game. But once you hit Season 3, you'll begin with the Cavalry cycle, and then you'll begin going Cavalry, Infantry, Archers, Leadership, and you'll just slide into that Season of Conquest cycle. Also, keep in mind that all the new commanders, regardless of their troop type, so even Hao Bing, who is a cavalry commander, will come onto the Wheel of Fortune, even if it is the infantry cycle. So keep that in mind with Hao Bing, and any new commanders that release, they will be on the next 3 Wheel of Fortunes, and after that, they will only be available on their troop type. So for example, when Sargon first released, he released on the Archer wheel, he was on the Archer wheel, then the Leadership wheel, then he was back on the Cav wheel, and then after that, he was on the infantry wheel and only the infantry wheel, and now you can't get him on any other wheels. With all that basic information out of the way, let's discuss the most valuable amounts to spin to, and to do this, I will go over all these spins. I will talk about 1 spin, 5 spins, 10 spins, 25, 45, 70, and 100. We'll start off with getting 1 spin, and with the 1 spin, this is what I base the rest of my math around pretty much. So when you spin 1 time, you have a 31% chance of getting at least 1 gold head from just either the generic commander sculptures or the commander sculpture of your choosing. You also have 2% chance of getting 8 gold heads, and the way I calculated this was instead of just saying at the 50 spot and the 100 spot, you get an extra 8 gold heads. I instead did it as an average all the way through, since there is a chance the whole entire time that you do get that 8 spot, and I think that is the best way to calculate it. This leaves you with a 67% chance of getting something that is not gold head related. So that's either speed ups, resources, or the dazzling starlight sculptures. And out of everything that's left here, the only 2 things that I say are good value for your gems are going to be the 15-hour generic speed ups and also the training speed ups. Those are the only things that if you land on them are actually good value, because you're getting more speed ups than you would pay for gems. You could also say the building and research speed ups are worth it, but for most players, that is not the case. So I did not include them in my calculations, because especially endgame players like myself who've been playing for a while, you've probably got T5, or you've almost at T5, you're basically there. These speed ups are almost useless. So if you are just to include yourself the gold heads, the 15-hour generics, and the training speed ups, you have a 47% chance of getting a good value item per spin, which leaves you a 53% chance of getting a lower value item. Now, if you were to spin the wheel 5 times, which would cost you 3,600 gems, you would get 1.55 gold heads from the single spins, and you would get 0.8 gold heads from the 8 spots. So that leaves you with 2.35 gold heads in total on average. You would also get 16 hours of good speed ups, which I calculated as 2 8-hour speed ups in the VIP shop. This should give you VIP shop prices of 5,180 gems, leaving you with a 1.44 times value. Then if you were to spin to 10 times, you get your first chest here. And from the spinning alone, for 10 spins, you get 3.1 gold heads from the 1 gold head section, and you get 1.6 gold heads from the 8 section. You also, like I said before, get the 5 gold heads from the chest, which leaves you with 9.7 gold heads. You also will earn 32 hours of good amounts of speed ups, which will leave you with approximately 1 24-hour speed up and 1 8-hour speed up from the VIP shop. This means the VIP shop is going to cost 20,240 gems for the same price of 7,200 gems, which is what you need to spin 10 times, leaving you with a value of 2.18. So you're getting almost 3 times value on your gems for spinning to the 10 spot. If you were to spin to 25 spots, it would cost you around 18,000 gems. You would get 7.8 singular gold heads from spinning, and then also 4 from the 8 spot. That leaves you with 11.8 gold heads from just the wheel alone. You will then earn a total of 10 gold heads from the chest, because your second chest is giving you another 5 legendary commander sculptures. That leaves you with a total of 21.8 gold heads all around from the wheel at 25, and also 80 hours of speed ups, which I calculated as 3 24-hour speed ups and 1 8-hour speed up. This is a VIP shop cost of 45,640 and is 2.53 times value for your gems. If you were to spin to 45 spins, it will cost you 32,400 gems, and you would get access to the 45 chest. You would get 14 gold heads from spinning and 7.2 gold heads from the 8 spot. This will leave you with 21.2 gold heads from spinning alone, plus 20 gold heads from the chest will leave you with 41.2 gold heads. This will also leave you with 144 hours of speed ups, which I calculated as 6 24-hour speed ups from the VIP shop. I did mention this before, each 24-hour speed up is 600 gems, each 8-hour speed up is 240 gems. Every single gold head I calculated as 2,000 gems. This will leave you with a VIP shop cost at 86,000 gems, and you'll get 2.65 times value if you spun to the 45 section. If you were to spin to the 70 spot, it would cost you 50,400 gems. You would get 21.7 gold heads from spinning and 11.2 gold heads from the 8 spot. That would leave you with 32.9 gold heads, and you'd get another 30 gold heads from the chest. That would leave you with a grand total of 61.9 gold heads, and you would get 224 hours of speed ups, which I calculated as 9 24-hour speed ups and 1 8-hour speed up. This will give you 131,140 gems of VIP shop value, giving you a 2.6 times value for your gems. Then if you spun all the way to the 100 spot, getting the final chest, you would get 31 gold heads from the spinning and 16 gold heads from the 8 spot. That would leave you with 47 gold heads, plus 45 from the chest. In total, out of every single chest, you get 45 gold heads. You'll be left with 92 total gold heads. You will also get 320 hours of speed ups, which I calculated as 13 24-hour speed ups and 1 8-hour speed up. You will get a grand total of 192,040 gems of VIP shop value, which is a 2.67 times value for your gems. Now on screen, you can see all the rankings from the worst value to the best value. I did not include the 1 spin in there because there's really no value there, it just depends what you land on. But for 5 spins on average, you're only getting 1.44x value, that's why it's rank 6. Spinning the wheel alone without any chests is really bad value. 1.44 times value, you would get better anywhere else. Esmeralda's Prayer gives better rewards than that, so definitely do not do just spinning alone. That means either just spinning without getting a chest, so if you get to the 10 spot and you spin to 15, there's no point. you get to the 70 spot and you spin to 85, there's no point. So do not spin the wheel alone without going for a chest. It's not worth it. That also means do not spin past the 100. After you get to the 100 chest, every single player, even if you're a whale, should stop, because at that point, it's just you're throwing gems at nothing. For such a small amount of gold heads per spin, it is almost a waste. Coming in at rank 5, we have the 25 chest, and this is the worst out of all of the chests in terms of value. And you get 2.53 times gem value. I say only, but pretty much every ranking here is very close, besides like rank 1. It's a bit of a jump ahead. The reason 25 is in this ranking is because you're paying for 15 spins from the 10 spot to the 25 spot for the same amount of sculptures. And then you'd be paying, for example, from the 25 spot to the 45 spot, only 20 spins for double the sculptures. So you're basically buying 2 10-spot chests. That is why the 25 spot is lower value, and it is because I calculated the generic sculptures as the same price as the sculptures that you get to choose. The reason I calculated both generic commander sculptures and the specific commander sculptures as the same value, even though generics are technically more valuable, is because most players who spin the wheel, especially lower spenders, free-to-plays, even mid-spenders, you're spinning the wheel to save yourself some generics, but you're not going to have enough generics to expertise them. Often spinning the wheel is just a way to save you some generics and speed up getting that commander's skills up. Not necessarily that you're going to get the generics on the wheel and not use them at all, because no one ever expertises a commander through only the Wheel of Fortune. It costs like 498,000 gems if you were to just do that. That is if you got 100 sculptures every single time you spun the wheel, so I doubt that anyone really expertises a commander through just the wheel. So that is why I calculated all the generic sculptures as the exact same price as the rest of the sculptures. Coming in at rank 4, we have the 70 spin, and this is exact same reasons as the 25 spin. You're paying more spins here, so instead of going from 45 to, for example, 65 and getting 10 sculptures, you're going from 45 to 70, so you're paying for 25 spins, but you're getting the same amount of sculptures. The reason the 70 spot is slightly higher value is because you are getting more sculptures for basically the same amount of jump, so it's a little bit weird with the way that works, but it is slightly more valuable. It comes in at a 2.6 times value instead of 2.53. Very small increase there. It's like maybe 1,000, 2,000 gems extra value over the 25 chest. But once again, it's because I calculated generic sculptures as the same. And most players, when you think about generic sculptures and you're doing the wheel, like I said, you're putting them into that commander anyways. Then coming in at rank 3, our third best chest is the 45 chest. And I think the only reason this one is brought down is because if you spin to 25, the whole average of the 25 chest does bring down the 45 chest ever slightly. And it gives it a 2.65 times value. The 45 chest is where most free-to-play stop, and I think that is a fairly decent spot. It is very affordable, and you are getting a very good amount of value for your gems there. If you're spinning to 45, you're guaranteed a commander unlock regardless of how many gold heads you get, and it's also a decent amount of gold heads. The 5 generics are nice, and you get 5 gold heads for that commander, so at least you'll get a 2-1-1-1 version of the commander that you're going for. Pretty much you get almost a free skill right there, plus you get any extra gold heads here, you get some resources, speed up, so 45 is a nice spot to stop if you're a free-to-play, low spender, medium spender even. Just unlock the commander, and then I recommend just use generics and save your gems for events that give you equipment, because equipment is much harder to access for free than legendary commanders are. So that is what I would personally be doing, and is what I actually do. I think I spun to 70 for LIANG just for the stream, but for the most part, I would really only spin to that 45 spot, and then I would usually stop there. Coming in at rank 2, it's the 100 chest. And it's only 0.02 times extra value compared to the 45 chest. It's like not even 1,000 gems better. So really, it doesn't really matter what you choose here. If you're going to spin the wheel, you go to the 45 chest, you stop at the 45 chest, or you go for the 100. That's what I'd really recommend. The 70 chest is not amazing value, and stopping anywhere in between the 45 and the 100 that's not on the 70 chest is definitely not good value. So if you're going past the 45, I'd say just go straight to the 100. It is slightly better value, and it's not going to be bad overall. And then coming in at rank 1 is the 10 spot, giving you a 2.81 value advantage. That is a really, really big jump. Like, that's a massive jump compared to the other ones. And I think this is because it is just the best value chest. You're only paying for 10 spins, and you get half of a commander unlock. I rarely unlock a commander on 10 spins, but if you get lucky enough to do it, and you unlock him in 10 spins, it's probably just worth stopping. You get such good value per gem by spinning to 10, that if you're even working on a commander, you've already got him unlocked, it might actually just be worth spinning to 10 every single time the wheel comes. If you're, for example, working on ZHUGE right now, and you want to actually take him up and expertise him, spin to 10 every single time the wheel comes, because it is really good value. 2.81 is way higher than the 100 chest, the 70 chest, the 45. It's the best value by like far. So if you're working on multiple commanders, spinning to the 10 chest every single wheel for a commander that you're working on definitely makes a lot of sense, and it gives some very, very good value. Now, if you enjoyed today's video and you found it very informative, plus the unique editing style, which has taken me 3 hours at this point, I really, really want you to join the Archer Syndicate Discord, because I'm trying to beat my Kingdom Discord, which currently has 439 members in my Discord. I only have 234, guys. We've got to pick up the game. We've got 2K subscribers, okay? We can easily beat that Kingdom Discord. So join the Discord right now. It'll be in the pinned comment and in the description. Now, I just want to say thank you much, guys. To see you in the next one.